I have been asked, even by lifelong trained boxing trainers and managers, how I handle the stress of getting in the ring the way I do, because one of my trainers was Ken Norton's trainer, and he said he has never in his life, he passed away, but he was in his late 70s, and he was in boxing for 50 years, seen a fighter. Well, it relaxes me. I mean, I'm sleeping in the locker room, and I do no warm-up. I don't warm up. I don't believe in it. When they say it's time to go, I get up, kind of shake myself a little bit, and I just walk out there. Now, I don't teach other people to do that, because the reality is most people, 99%, should warm up and should stretch, and should shadow box, and you know how they hit pads. And I do none of that. I said, is it time? And I get up and I walk out there. And the reason for that is this. If you're going to defend yourself in a self-defense situation, how much warm-up are you going to have? If you rely on warm-up and shadow boxing and hidden pads to be able to perform as a martial artist when you're walking down the street, there's no warm-up. You go from 0 to all of a sudden you're 110 miles an hour and somebody's attacking you with a knife. And I don't train people to do what I do. Don't do as I do, but that's what I do. I just relax. I sleep in the locker rooms. And here's how it happened. I didn't start that way. I died 1,000 deaths like everybody else my first 20 fights, I'm sure. Worrying about the guy, I would say, is he an orthodox guy? Is he tall? I try to find everything I could find out about my opponent. Now, what do you find out about your opponent in a street fight? Nothing. One minute you're walking down the street, next minute somebody jumps on you. So what ended up happening was, during the course of my career, little by little, I started eliminating the things that did not help me. One of the things is the worry. Worrying didn't really help me. And finding out that the guy was orthodox or southpaw, it did help. I would say that did help, but it wouldn't matter. At a certain point, it doesn't matter what they are, because you know what if the guy changes up? Now all your training for this southpaw is already, now you're a little confused because now he's gone the other way and his kicks are coming from all different angles. So I did not stress out. I started eliminating all the stress-inducing things. And when you get into a fight, good things can happen, bad things. If you let the bad things worry you, as a matter of fact, in the film, I give the example, how mental fighting is. Here's the example I give, and I can give the general public the same example. If I put a 2x4 on the ground and across to this room, and I said, listen, I'll give you $1,000 if you run across that thing. You're going to say, let's go. If you get on it, you just go right across it very quickly. It's easy. 4 inches is not a tight wire. Now I take that same 2x4 and I put it on top of 2 skyscrapers. Now I'm waiting on I got $1,000, you got to run across that. You look at that 2x4, first of all, you're going to say, that dragon is crazy. I don't need the money that bad. But just think about it. What is the difference? It's the exact same physical thing, except if you make a mistake and fall, you're dead on the ground. You're smashed. And so what you've done is you've concentrated so much on the negative that you cannot even walk across the 2x4. Because even if you try to walk slowly, you'd probably take 2 or 3 steps. And the fear and the thought, the negative thought of making a mistake is going to make it impossible. Now, what is the easiest thing? The thing you learn when you're 3 years old? Walking. How are you going to kickbox if you get scared? How are you going to defend yourself on the street when a knife is pulled and that fear and that rush and that adrenaline goes through your body and it freezes you instead of frees you up to do your best? So it is all mental. I'm not bigger, stronger, faster. I mean, I have some skills, but what separated me from, I won 11 world titles, from a lot of thousands of fighters worldwide was mental. It was all mental. I stepped in the ring at a certain point, I relaxed and I realized, okay, the worst thing that happened, of course, you could die. But you know what? 44,000 people die every day, every year in the highways in America. 44,000. We don't lose that many kickboxers. So dangerous things, we're in danger of dying every second. We cannot live in fear and be restricted and imprisoned because of fear. So I started eliminating the fear of, well, I'm probably not going to die. I mean, it doesn't happen, but I could get hit with a jab and a blood vessel can go and you could die. It could happen. But I kind of relieve that. It's like a samurai. Today is a good day to die. If I'm going to go that way, there's no controlling it. It could happen anytime. I don't worry about that kind of physical things happening to me. Then losing. Well, I've lost before. World didn't end. You know, sometimes you lose, sometimes you don't. The things that would make you nervous, I've learned to accept them. So why should I be nervous in the locker room when they're getting ready to call my name? I did my training. I mean, if you don't do your training, look, I would be nervous if I didn't do my running and I didn't do the bag work. If I'm totally unprepared and there's a guy waiting to go 12 rounds, okay, I'm going to be nervous. But no, I do my preparation. If you do your preparation, you've gotten your body as good a shape as you can get it. You've relaxed, you've got the weight, you know, you're prepared physically, mentally. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be nervous about. And I go out there, I'm so calm. It's like Zen, they call it no mind. When you get into the ring, and this happened to me in 1999 when I came out of retirement. I hadn't fought in 8 years. I felt some tension. Things were different, the lights. I was disoriented. I had not been in the ring. But when my head went, when I came out under and I got up, whoosh, I felt home. I was home. I felt more comfortable there than I do sitting in this chair. And I'm in the ring and I'm fighting, and the guy's giving me the mean look, and it's just so comfortable. So to answer your question, it was a transition over many years to get to a point, a Buddhist point of Zen where I can have just total relaxation. Whatever comes at me, I will react to. You know, it's a great feeling. I'm addicted to it. Unfortunately, you can only do it so long. I'm like a concert pianist playing his best music, and they pull the piano away and they say, okay, you can never touch it again. And unfortunately, at a certain point in the fight business, and I may be there now. I mean, I had my last fight in 2002, and I see nothing on the horizon. I may be done.